Welcome to another
Funny.
episode of Angels, Positivity, and Love. Absolutely incredible guests the world over with fabulous backgrounds. Today, I've got a veteran of the show. She's an incredible energy healer out of Canada. She was just voted top 2024 energy healer in Canada. She can tell us more about that later, but she's talented. She's an author, show host, again, healer. Just has done a lot. Actually, near-death experiencer, out of body. A lot of trauma as a child was part of her life journey, and that experience allowed her to turn it all around and give service to others, like so many who come on the show. So I'd like to welcome Tracy L. Clark. And now remember, it's TLC. If you need a moniker to remember her, it's just www.tracylclark.com. She's absolutely fantabulous, to make up a word. I'm excited to have her here. We have fun every time she comes on. Tracy, good to see you again.
I'm excited to be here. We do have fun always, but that's because we've got angels, we got energy, and we see the positivity of where we're all going. So, how can't you have fun? It's
And
exciting.
you're super I was gonna say interconnected. You're super connected and interconnected, and you're super paying attention for other folks and for yourself for a long time now. Can you just give us a quick update, like where are things today in 2024 with what you're doing?
In terms of work, or that's a big thing, or a world event. Yeah, 2024. It's very interesting right now, helping a lot of people understand how to not go down rabbit holes, but how to really stay focused on where they're going and why we're getting there. And it was interesting because I had this vision not too long ago, I shared with the community. And it was very much like, how the parting of the Red Sea here, but the message was, as the sea is being parted on earth, stay focused, stay where you're going, stay connected. Don't get off your routines. Talk to your angels, your guides, do your cleansing, whatever you need to do, what you know is already in here. We got to really keep focused on the other side. So as the distractions here are coming, it's okay. Just let them, they'll get swallowed up. Just really stay on path, because the bodies are actually changing quite drastically right now. You know how we've all been trained to think, and we're losing that. We're feeling, and our bodies just went through a massive cellular upgrade that's going to keep going over the next, few years here, to really catapult us into more instant healing of the bodies, more instant manifesting of things that we want to create. So the place where people sometimes get frustrated saying, well, it wasn't instant. I said, well, we're really getting there now. And so that feeling, and our bodies they're talking to us 24/7. So it's really fabulous when I say to people, if you've talked to your guides, your angels, you're asking for signs, even people forget, you and I know, but you're getting chills, or you maybe get a little pain somewhere. That's your body communicating with spirit, right? So it's getting more intense. And I have warned people in a positive manner that between right now and into early 2025, everybody's system is getting so upgraded that don't second guess the things you're hearing, feeling, and seeing, because our intuition it's actually the first time we'll see more changes in the next 6 months than we've seen in the last 10 to 15 years in energy work, in our bodies, how we function, and on the world.
Mm. And you're up in Canada. So for the audience, if anybody gets too tense out there, go camping. Back to the interview.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about for like compassion, kindness, gentleness? How is that like critical?
Yeah, it's extremely important right now, because we have lived in a world that was division. We know that was done on purpose, but now that's crumbling, and it's actually crumbling as we speak, which is so beautiful, because so many of us have been like little generals and warriors, or however they want to put it, just getting out there and understanding that we have to stop blaming, we have to stop victimizing ourselves and be mean to ourselves and others, and really start to see now having compassion when we're going through something hard, or even for somebody else, having an understanding that we all have similar things we dream of, but we have different experiences, no different than you said at the beginning of the interview. My trauma, well, although my body read that as a lot of trauma and I had to use it to get to where I'm going, some people experience the same level of trauma and all their mother did was said, don't eat the cookie. And it's like, they're like, what? I said, trauma's trauma. So, that is understanding that we have different reference points, different systems, but we're coming together in this place of really being in harmony. And that comes from, first, compassion with self. lots of compassion. Just because something may not be working the way you think, you need to understand it as the world is shifting to a high vibration. We're shifting with it as a collective. So all the things that we thought that are leaving, we don't want to get in fear or scared about it. That's an old paradigm. We want to be compassionate, loving, kind, understanding to ourselves and all the people around us. Because you change one person, you've changed thousands of people.
Can you talk to us about the different, that was beautiful. Can you talk to us about the different flows? What goes on when we're up here and what goes on when we're down here?
So when we're actually, you mean into our higher selves, when we're actually connected to our higher selves, and the reason we've been trained to think versus feel and connection is it keeps us disconnected, and it keeps us really from that God particle within, whatever people want to call it. There's no right or wrong. You find whatever, I always say the God of your understanding, it's what works for you. But we all have this magic switch in us. Everyone who's walked the planet, no one does not have it. And when we start to really connect into that particle, it gets brighter and stronger and stronger. What I've noticed right now that happens for this plane versus this plane is as that gets stronger, when we're born, and this is done on purpose, we tend to be in our ego, and the ego runs where we are. Then when we wake up and this gets stronger and stronger, eventually there's a threshold we start to pass. And a lot of people have passed it now where we're over 50% out of the ego, connected now to the God within us and that beautiful divine universal energy. The stronger we move out of fear into authenticity, fear is down here, right? Authenticity is our higher self and connecting with spirit and the guides. The more we move away from the ego and into our authenticity, you still need ego to keep you in check, but not running from it, right? That actually then allows us to really live in a place that is like utopia, which is where we're moving from now. So, although you may see people having hard times, give them what they require, ask spirit to interfere, because if you stay connected and you allow this energy to move stronger in your body with more instant healing of the body, because the body repairs naturally every 7 years, right? But funny how we forget about that. Spirit's working with us all the time because it's spirit that's coming through. But it also is in a place where that's that togetherness, that's that manifestation, that's that creation. So once people notice when they do start to do their connections and their mantras and they're talking to their angels and guides and they're really doing the work in terms of, and it's easy, I say work, but it's just a way of living. But when they really do it and they pass that 50% and they're getting into authenticity, then I hear people say to me all the time, wow, the love of my life showed up, or wow, I got this great job opportunity, or someone just gave me a bunch of money. Like they're like, what is happening here? Because now the energy, the vibration is so quick. But right now, that's what I mean. Like it's going to speed up. You want to stay down here in this earthly plane. It can feel heavy and drudgery, like you're walking through quicksand. But that might be where people feel right now. But the reason we all been there is because that's the point where you're supposed to go, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm getting out of here. Like it stinks, right? Like somebody just let off a bomb and you're like, oh my God, it stinks. I got to get out of here. That's why it feels so gross. So we'll make a different choice and connect with our higher self. Yeah.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit about, what have you been seeing this summer for other themes? Is it manifesting? Is it just all the energy that's flying around? What's something you've noticed this year that's different?
I've noticed that the bodies for the first time are really, really in sync with the global planetary shifts. So we are always moving with the global planetary shifts as our hierarchy, our structures start to really change and dissolve. Our bodies are running parallel, and what they're doing is they're saying, what do I need to actually shift in my world? So they're trying to help each other. It's not a detriment. It's trying to help, going, oh, I do that, I got to let that go. And that's the key of the creation energy. So the creation energy, because our cell structure is changing so quickly, it's aligning with creation energy faster. So we're going to really start to see a paradigm shift from how do you think to how do you feel. And that paradigm shift is really, really strong. But what I'm also noticing the big theme, and I say this to intuitives a lot because we're all intuitive, everybody's intuitive, it's just a different level. You will start to see the veils lift a lot quicker between now and mid 2025. So don't be scared if you think you see someone standing in the middle of the street, but it's not an actual person, because we're really meant to interact now on all of our sensory systems. So the sensory systems, the way they show it is, when you boost a car and you put the booster cables on the battery, we're all got, like, basically it's showing in the kidneys. We're getting boosted in the kidney energy, the life force energy, so we can sustain ourselves a lot easier as we're going through the big transitions, and the
Mm.
bodies will be stronger. Yeah.
Are you ready to catch some sage? Maybe have a couple angels kick out topics that you're going to nail without even trying.
Okay.
You're like an Olympian. This is the summer of the Olympics. We'll probably do a couple other steps though that are energy. It's really,
Yeah.
we can talk about it all day long, or we can just do a little bit of showing and keep talking because it is a
As we
video, a
should.
show, and we got to do
I
that.
love it. You got to
Yep.
do it. We're always shifting. Our words are always shifting. Yeah.
And where are you in Canada today?
I'm in a suburb of Toronto. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm lighting some sage. People at home who have watched the show know all about this. Even though there's two screens, there really aren't. No time or space the way you think. No limits. If you're in your heart, allow, allow, allow. No triota.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on the sage smoke. You're already getting the sage.
And I live by the water, so we can bring that in. I know it's not ocean, but
Yeah. No, but hey, catch sage, catch flowers,
catch
catch
water,
ocean.
catch it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever a person will allow for. If anybody needs to close their eyes or put their hands on their heart, I've only got one bit of ruler structure. It's just ask the universe angels to get in here, get you out of your head into your heart, and use that schnoggin. Okay. Exactly. I'm using lots of fun words today. Big words, schnoggin. Okay,
I
you
love
got
your
the
word.
sage okay, yeah?
Yeah,
And did you get a little bit of flowers?
I did.
Yay.
Roses have been really, really strong today since before we started. And I don't know if people know, but the smell of rose, the rose oils are actually one of the highest smells of the divine. So it's really nice. Yeah.
What does joy have a topic for you and what'd you get? And then go to it.
Yeah. She interesting right away came. She says, make sure that you're strong in staying out of fear. Whatever it is, just stay out of fear. Find whatever you need to do, whether it's play. I had this image the other day and she just showed it to me again. So you remember when you were a little kid and you'd hang your head out of the car window and you're like, it's great. You're like, there's no cares in the world. And she just popped that image back in my head. I get chills. It's like, you got to remember that no matter what's going around, you get in that play energy and be the little kid where your head is out the window and your hair's blowing back and you're just, you're taking that in, because people are going to really start to see. And I hope people listening right now, we can do a little energy shift where they start to see really how powerful and magnificent each of us are, and to own it. She says own it. And that's the play energy that's going to allow you to own it.
Hmm. You can be happy now in this very moment with no particular reason. Okay.
Right?
Here's an angel named Charlotte. She's everybody's favorite school teacher from childhood with words meant to help you expand. People can put their hand out and feel a vibe. They can catch flowers, ocean, another type of scent. Close your eyes if you need help. But what's Charlotte got for you? She's usually all about words that are meant to help us expand.
She says, stop discounting what you know. Stop discounting it. Be brave. Be brave. Like, I keep seeing like a image of almost like a sword. She's like, stop discounting it. Everybody's got to stop. There's so much divine wisdom in each of us that we need to share it now. There's no reason to be afraid of it. No reason to hold it back. Just don't discount it anymore.
I love it.
We're
Own
all
what you.
teachers. She's a teacher, which is interesting. She's a teacher, but we're all teachers amongst all the people around us. And that's why she has that message. And I have chills from head to toe. Yeah.
Own what you got. A third one's a professor, soft spoken, lots of light waves of energy and water. And her name is Min. Just keep it easy. It's the only complex name out of 200. She's my guardian angel, Dr. Karen Wyatt's guardian angel. If anybody checked out August 30th, 2024, that is a beautiful show, and she comes prominently into that show. What are you getting from Min, Tracy?
Says it's time for people to fly. So I'm going to ask her what that fully means, because to fly can mean different things for different people. So, which she's showing me an image. So I see, feel, hear. That's how I work, right? Obviously, we all have different sensory systems. But she says, don't be afraid to fly because each and every one of you has a parachute. And there's also like the trapeze net underneath you. So every time we fly in a new direction, something else will open up. And it's okay if you feel like you fell, you've got a springboard to lift you back up again.
I love it. Okay, a Native American chief, dull knife, whose wisdom with some
Oh,
humor. And
yeah.
anyone out there, we didn't light anything, but you can still catch one of those 50 sacred scents: tobacco, sweetgrass, juniper, desert pineal, pine. You get the idea. Douglas fir.
He says, be the warrior you are and lead with your heart. There's no more time to hold that back.
Ah, the time is now. We got Geronimo coming up in a second, but it's red shirt right now. Lakota Sioux chief wearing a U.S. presidential medal. I describe him as the gentlest mom in the world, historical figure. He's a sweetie.
He says actually too that silence is also power. Use your energy, not your words. Sometimes you'll know when it's right.
Damn. Geronimo.
Mm.
Action, 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 dry wit, more slang. Yeah, nah, duh. You already know the answer.
Yeah, and he's very, very clear. You're no more fence sitting. Guys are out of time, and that's not to be a fear thing at all. It's this is go time. We've been prepped. We've been trained. You've been trained, all of you, with your hearts, with your energy. You know what to do. It is go time. And in this space, you can't be afraid to shine who you are. So they show it like as if you're going into a battle scene. You have two people, like you've got two battles on either side. Take it like Braveheart, but they had so much love and compassion and they were going in at all guns. So they literally show it like that if people need a visualization. But he says, don't worry, because this collectiveness of the heart that we're all now going forward, they show the other side that if it's people that need to wake up or people that maybe we've been caught in their matrix, they show them falling down like dominoes. So there's no more time for us to be separate. But if we come together in that strength, change is going to happen at a super rapid rate.
Seatbelt time. Car, roller coaster, or Formula One. Here comes Geronimo, older. It's a kick butt photograph.
Wow.
Anybody who wants to put their hand out, catch the vibe? He's like a lightning bolt, action, dry wit, humor, but he's a kitty instead of the tiger like before. He's a kitten in the heart. He's on everyone's team. He wants the best for you. What's he got for you?
He says when you go out into the world, make sure that when you come home, you take time to nurture yourself.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump to Ananda Mayama. We have not done her before. She's from India. I think she just passed away in the 80s and she was
Oh, wow.
all the way into her 90s. But she's always said everyone is right, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also not about being right or wrong. And she's a super sweet. As soon as you see her photo, you'll get a lot of love and compassion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Interesting. She says a lot of the teachings we've had will fall off. Don't be afraid to let them go because you'll be downloaded with new information
Ooh,
that the world needs.
and
That's a
can you extrapolate on that? Because I think you're really good at just gently letting a couple onion layers go prematurely here. What do you think that might mean?
yeah. We get used to doing things a certain way. We also get used to being locked in that. So maybe, and I'm going to give simple, maybe you ground a certain way. Maybe you speak to your angels a certain way. But there's a lot of ways we used to do things that are slow. And what she is very clear, because she's still here and I'm chill, she says a lot of them are slow. So now we are going to light speed. We have to go fast. So don't be afraid to move away from something you think you've known to start to take the information because now we're going to forge new ways of connecting. Oh, because she says we have to go fast. So we can't go slow. So if we want to go slow, you're going to be on your Commodore 64. If you want to go fast, you got to have the latest technology. So she's like, the older ways of being are going to drop off, but don't be afraid because you're going to be given information for the new ways of how you need to move forward.
This is all absolutely brilliant. I got another angel named John. We've never brought him up for you before. You've been on a couple panels with us. We have mind, body, spirit panels. They're about 90 minutes long. Three incredible experts come in and they do their thing. And for the audience, we had Britt Elder, CEO of ShirleyMacLaine.com, the actress, was in Clint Eastwood, A Mule for Sister Sarah. or whatever
Yeah.
that was called. She's also an author. I think it was a Pleiadian book that just came out, 45th anniversary, repackaged. 2 more books coming out this year, filmmaker, and she's probably written a dozen books. We also had Dr. Christian Strang in Colorado, who's a fantastic healer. And out of Canada, Lisa Richmond, who is just such an up and coming talent. I love her. All 3 talked a lot of cosmic stuff the way you've been speaking, what's ahead. Also talking about the whole galactic component. Angels in March, maybe we'll take a
Oh, yeah.
minute on this. Angels in March started giving their backgrounds. Just when what you said before, just when you start to hang your hat on a certain peg, it all moves and changes. So Charlotte, who we put up before, said she has an Orion background, which would make sense if she was Nefertiti back in ancient Egypt in the day, bringing compassions to the Egyptians. Min said Sirius, not to be too serious here. Joy is more cosmic. And so, all of a sudden, there are all these cosmic beings who are separate from angels, unconditional love, Pleiadians, Andromedans, Lyrans. Whoa, it's a lot for me, but I've had 3 months to absorb this. What do you say about that whole galactic component thing?
Oh, yeah. We are actually, I was doing something last night. I was teaching, and they said it was funny because this whole new energy came in. They're like, you got to look at us like the Galactic Federation, like Star Trek, right? And they become, it's a lot because there's all these different energies now that are coming forth because a planet has changed, right? And we are all connected. People forget it. And you can't. We are connected to every part of every universe, every galaxy, and there's different energies that are coming forth. So what I've noticed is they're becoming more vocal. It's like I said, don't be surprised. I don't know. I always said if ET showed up my door, I'd let you in. But they're becoming more vocal. They're becoming more aware because our energy is also allowing it. And the more, again, not just us, but as we connect into these energies, the more we come together, the quicker the change is happening. So they are becoming a lot more prominent. And we're not to be afraid of them. We've been taught a lot of times in media, if people watch it and you're new and you don't understand, that's such a small portion. I kind of say, like, it's like if you watch Star Trek and the Klingons are one of the million other races that are beautiful and loving and great. So don't be afraid of one little thing when we have so many energies that can come as a collective and change history for the better. So be very, very open. And
Well,
that's
I don't
what
know
we're
if
going to
anybody remembers. I mean, obviously, everyone remembers Star Trek, William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, color,
Sure. How can you
1960s.
not? Yeah.
Yeah, but they made an animated version where they still hired those actors to do the voices for Captain
Oh,
Kirk
I
and
didn't know
Leonard
that.
Nimoy. Yeah, so
Okay.
Uhuru was the communications officer on the bridge, and this is 1970s. The
Mhm.
animation's sort of like you see them moving, but it's kind of, you can tell it's pixelated a little, or the frame
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But there was a backup to Uhuru, the Lieutenant so and so, who was an alien species. They had 2 aliens on the bridge back in the 60s, kind
Yeah.
of preparing in a way, because there's a bunch of times in humanity's history, but this was Uhuru's backup. Occasion,
Wow.
yeah, a cat with an extra
Yeah.
eye, Asian
Yeah.
species that they made up. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of different types out there. It's unconditional love. It's one big pie. We all can take a bite.
Yeah.
Um, what would you just say about compassion, unconditional love? How does this all work again? How is it about a little bit less CNN?
Oh, a little less, a whole lot. Constant negative news. Get it out. Yeah, it's good to see that's falling. Yeah, like unconditional love. A lot of people, I think, forget what that is, but it's having compassion with self. And it's really seeing and having compassion with where somebody else is. And whether it's dropping a little bit of energy, whether it's a one word, you don't have to have long conversations. Unconditional love of self is we got to really look and say, okay, warts and all right, here I am. I got to look at it. And then know that there's also for unconditional love with yourself, there's nothing in your world, like nothing that you can't transmute and change. Nothing. The only thing that keeps it from transmuting and not changing is in your brain or getting in fear. But there is absolutely nothing. And I see this day in, day out, even with myself, even with you, right? We all had little things like, that come up. I know in the last 2 years, I've had a lot of loss I've had to deal with, but I'm not, people say, you're not sitting there like, I said, no, because connect and I use my tools and I ask spirit and my guides and my teams and my angel and on your teams, right? You got guides, you got angels, you got loved ones. And when you do that, you start to see the beauty. Like now my house is kind of like a little fun house, like the fans are going off, the TVs are flipping on, the lights are moving around. People are like, whoa, because that's how spirit talks a lot, right? And so we come in that space, but people need to remember unconditional love is really understanding, again, how powerful you are. And there is nothing in your life you can't change. Nothing.
And angels know exactly where you are in each
Yeah.
moment, and they see the broader picture. So you only
Yeah.
have to trust a little bit more and call that
Yes.
faith, religious, non-religious faith. It's letting go though, and not knowing so much so that you can allow that shift to happen on whatever we're talking about. Okay,
Do you know
back
what
to,
I gotta
yeah,
tell you, do you know what my definition of faith is?
yes.
Trust, no believe.
Wait, say that one more time.
Trust, no believe.
I love
Faith.
it. Um,
Press in.
I've got an angel named John for you. He's synchronicity. He's the synchronicity angel. We'll marshal other angels for you. I've grabbed a Hollywood figure from the 1940s, second highest paid in Hollywood, British, Ron Coleman. I don't think we've done him before necessarily. So he's super cool.
Oh,
His name is
wow.
John, John, and him, Metatron, the oil and the machinery, Geronimo, the tiger from India. They kick butt. If
He
you
has
were
a sense
starting
of
a
humor.
company,
He has a sense of humor. I just have to say right away, he goes, oh, you people, you're more beautiful than you know. Wake up. Laughing.
if you were to see him as a human, which we're going to do in a second, if Tracy's game for doing that, she's done it before, you'd see him in a like one of those jalopy sports cars from the 50s or older,
Yeah.
with the open kind of oval top and with an ascot, and he probably would be British and sparkly as all heck. He'd wave you
Yeah.
by if you're walking the stop sign. You should run over and give him a hug though in the cockpit of the sports vehicle. I'm going to put him back up again one more time. He's super just debonair and fun. And I want you to think of that high
No
school
wonder he
sweetheart.
said that.
Yeah. And so if you were like supposed to meet the wife, now you're married 30 years, but think back. Was it the fork that dropped at the restaurant that had you both reaching at the same time? You bumped heads, you introduced yourselves, and from then on you're talking. But how many angels are involved? How many weeks, months, or years to get you two at the same adjacent tables? Or high school where you rounded the corner and your chocolate went in her peanut butter, her peanut butter hit your chocolate. The books fell, you're picking up each other's papers. It's something like that. It's hundreds of angels. So with that, you're going back to John
Oh,
for
yeah.
1 second for some more insight. I think you should get like 3 different things from him. I'll put him up for the first time.
No wonder he's with synchronicity. Yep.
What'd you get?
Because, like I said, back on that, you guys get it, right? Where he's like, you guys are more beautiful than you think, because it's also that energy when you start to pull it in, you're going to start to the connections you just said, you're going to start to see more of them. And when you have one that's moving, you're going to be going, oh my God, look what happened today. And that happened. And that happened. But he does say something. Don't forget your gratitudes. Don't forget every time something gives, say thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, whatever, God. Thank you, whatever you want. Poker, I don't care, but say thank you. And say thank you to your teams.
Tracy L. Clark in Canada, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your bravery, your boldness, your willingness to walk your own inner fearless, peaceful warrior healing path, and then therefore helping many, many others. He's coming back up though. What does he say about allowing more, loving more, and just simply breathing more?
It's like they show him sitting in, though you go to a psychiatrist and the guy's sitting in the chair, like, yeah, with a little note. It's so interesting because it's like literally as if you were sitting in a psychiatrist or psychologist's office, and he says, please remind everybody, stop looking in the rearview mirror. Stop looking at the things that went wrong, because you're not the same person you are today as you were yesterday. And especially when it comes to relationships, you can open yourself up to a new one, but you got to look for it because many of you are still looking for the old one.
I can relate to that. Now, if you lie down on the couch and let him do his job, you're going to get 3 compliments from him. One, which you're going to share out loud. If you're bold, brave, and don't mind, he'll give you the sanitized version if you need to do that, if you need it dumbed down for public consumption. 3 compliments. And if you don't mind putting a hand up to his photo and feeling the vibe coming in, so you're really getting it one way and you're getting it the other. Beyond words, And 3 gorgeous compliments. You're laughing. This is the best. If you want to share all 3, you're the bravest person I've ever had on the
He's
show.
like, you're spectacular, but it's like watching party balloons and streamers. And I'm like, what a nerd in a good way.
Oh my God, I love this.
I'm like, I'm getting like visual, like it's like right there. It's like, there it is. There it is. Oh, I love it. It's interesting because he's got a lot of wisdom for people around. And this I've actually seen. So I understand where this is coming from. I saw it this year. I saw this with the divide coming and old relationships ending, that we're starting to align now with people we don't love, people we're actually in love with. Very different. You can love your brother, your sister, whatever. Everybody thinks they love people, but they're having all these issues. There's a difference between loving people and being in love. And we're actually aligning more to the people we're in love with, which is kindness, respect, understanding, communicating, shifting together, growing together. Because that energy, when we're like that way as a couple, and then we're like that with friends, and then we're like that in other space, it's going to catapult the unconditional love and the change on the planet faster. So we're coming together. So he's really clear about why it's so important to love yourself and see how spectacular we really are right now. Again, the message is no, there's no more time. It's go time. Don't sit on the fence anymore. Don't sit on the fence. It's huge.
Okay.
Don't look in the rearview mirror either. I keep seeing this rearview mirror. People are looking in it. No more looking behind you. No more.
Yeah, as Geronimo says, ride, ride, ride. Don't look left. Don't look right. Don't look back.
Right.
And that horse that he's saying ride, ride, ride on is your heart.
Yeah.
It only took me a week to figure that out after he said it, but the horse,
Right.
the heart metaphor. Okay,
Which
here's
goes with
Mary.
that energy about what I said, the parting of the water, the focus on the other side of the bank. Just go straight through. Don't get distracted. Don't look back. Just right through. So they're telling I love that confirmation. I love it.
The Big Mary in the sky. Here she is for the classic version. If anybody needs that
Wow.
locked in, back it up and play it. I know
Yeah.
if you're from Ireland, you got to have it that way. Only 2 Irish people have ever been like, no, you can use this more modern photo that's coming up. Here's the more modern photo. Let the photo move a little, sparkle in the eyes, extra sea glitter around you, rainbow glitter, whatever you will allow for.
Yeah.
But here's Big Mary. She's love, love, love. If we all had our faith and trust, there'd be no more need for fear or worry. Good luck with that twice a month.
Yeah.
Or
But
twice a day.
you're not alone. This is a big thing, is that, she's saying this as a repetitive, you're not alone. And I actually want to tell something here to the audience that I've never shared with anybody. So last summer I had a week, and it was supposed to be a holiday. It turned in, I will say, a week from hell. If you heard the whole story, I was basic nutshell. There's all these things blowing apart. And there was, I had to rescue my parents out of the wildfires, and it kept rolling. This 10 days didn't stop. And I was so tired, and I got to my daughter's house, and I was so exhausted. And I said, I'm going to go for a walk. I just have to vacate everybody and clear my head, because you're kind of in, every tensions are high, but there was 10 things going on at the same time. My dad was dying. There was lots of things.
Can I interrupt and just give context? You were out west, and there's a town that you've gone to forever that had some of the biggest fires all over CNN and elsewhere, and it came within a smidge of taking out your section of where you live, and it took out a big portion of that place.
Yeah. So my parents, I had to rescue them. I flew in for a holiday, but it was that. So that was only one of many things. Back to the Mother Mary and this here. And so I said to my daughter, I had to go for a walk. This is how strong your angels are. And I walked down, and I turned to go left, and I went left. And there was a Catholic church. Now, I'm not religious. Okay. People know this. That's not me. Do what works for you. I don't go, I'm fascinated by the history, and I turned the corner, and there's this statue of Mother Mary standing there. And I was so compelled. You could sit, there were all these trees and flowers, and you could sit around. And I was so compelled to just sit there. And she started speaking and giving me all these messages. I'm like, wow, okay. So this happened for 3 days in a row. 3? Yep. And the third day, and all this new energy came in, and everything that had gotten bogged down just lifted, it removed. And by the time I got home, everything that looked like a challenge, and I'm strong. I knew enough to say, okay, God, but there was these conversations I had with her that were so beautiful and powerful. Everything broke and readjusted like that. And for me to say that, I tell you that, I go sit and I'd be like, yeah, not talk to her. Has she come in my home in different? Sure. But to actually sit there and really day after day after day. And so if anyone's ever doubting, like they come into our lives sometimes very prominent like that. It was like a physical, you need to stop, sit here and be. And that's what it was too, versus just like when you talk about meeting the angels on the street or however it is, I just knew in my heart, I could feel it. And there was one day I had my glasses on the second day. I was crying so bad that I just literally sat there, and there's people going into the church and nobody seemed to even notice I was there because of the way and nobody went over there. Like it was so divine. And so and now I do a lot of talking with her, but when I look at that image you put up, it's a real reminder to people that our angels and guides are so there. Like look at the beauty, look at the eyes, look at that space. If you're feeling there's a struggle or there's a space going on, you are not alone at all. And that mother energy will envelop you to give you the peace you need. And that's why you need to really pay attention right now. Yeah.
Mm.
Our angels are beyond, they're so, you know what I have to say is, you probably know this, Michael, because you're in that realm. But with the work even that I do every day, many people around the world, I've noticed the angelic realm is more, oh, look at the baby, is more prominent than ever before. Oh,
This is Presley, who is named after an angel named Presley. She Presley the angel came in on Elvis Presley movies and said, "Call me
yeah,
Presley." It doesn't matter how you
yeah,
spell it, but the angel is the interconnectedness of all. And
yeah,
her guardian angel is Allie, which I think is short for Alley Cat. But pets have
yeah,
guardian angels, folks, if you didn't know. And she
yeah,
was
they
about to
do.
start bumping the screen, so it would have looked like an earthquake here in Texas. So I intercepted her
That's
ahead of time.
okay.
Okay, back
Yeah.
to what you were saying. It was an important one.
Well, it's just and it's understand the angels are more prominent than I'm finding than ever before. Like they've always been prominent, but I mean stronger. Like the energy is becoming so strong with the other side. And that's why the messages are getting stronger. And that's why what you're doing is so important, because we need to, as in these physical bodies, realize that this is so small compared to what's saying, hello, I'm here. Like when we're feeling alone or sad, if you knew that all those angels you just put up, like even if you just have a quick think about them, they're all there. They're here immediately. If you don't know who to call in, I'm sure you've done this. I've had people do this. We're like, okay, send in all the angels of healing. I don't know who you all are, but send them all in. And people have miraculous healings. I'm like, tell them, send in all your financial angels. Even if you don't know who they are, you probably look and go, oh my God, I got like 1 million in my house. What's happening? I said, they will line up. And I'm noticing right now that energy is off the charts. So if you don't know who they are and you've gone through, and I'm sure, Michael, you're finding new ones every day show up. I just say, call them all in. You don't know. Everyone you need. Maybe it's your angels of health, healing, romance. I don't know, but just tell them all, because I'm noticing like literally your house is going to be jam packed. Now, even I said just call in all the angels. Now my head just went like this because I'm like, my house is jam packed. I'm like, okay, can we maybe give it a little bit of space now? Because you're going to make me dizzy.
If
Yeah.
we liken it to a running metaphor, we're not worried about what marathon you're doing or 5K or the idea of doing your first race or the idea of even going on your first jog. It's just about having the shoes, putting them on. It doesn't matter if they're 10 years old, digging them out of the closet, giving yourself a break, and you got to cross the threshold of that front door or get onto a treadmill at least. The point of this is you got to take this. You can't think about hugging the dog, hug the dog.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's it.
100%.
That's the difference of, being by doing, doing by being.
100%. I love that analogy. I love it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the key. What you look at what the angels' messages have been, what since we've been talking, is no more time. Like, do it. Show people who you are. Hug who you want to hug. Like, be brave. Be the warrior. Go out in the world and just, expand who you are. And no more hiding. Do it. Just do it.
being by doing, running around doing thousands of actions, slow down all the doing, or doing by being, if I got it right. But either way, it's doobie doobie do. And the bottom line is, here's Joy. You've already talked to her.
Yeah.
You can see her as a 28-year-old blonde, jean jacket, upscale dress underneath, waving high, with and without wings. If she's brunette, don't listen to me. When you see her, do you mind just getting another topic for us?
Expansion, expansion and play, expansion. Yeah. And she's saying this is that expansive period, but it's expanding in the heart. And that's where, just kind of like showing, you know, how we take out an old program, we delete something out of our computer. She says, we're now preparing. So it hasn't happened yet. She said, I had chills. We're now preparing to download a new program into the heart and it looks like all of the people on the earth right now of getting more of that ability to expand into joy and harmony, which means it hasn't come, but they said it looks like in the next 60 days. So that's crazy. That's really cool. I'll take that and more. We're getting new programs and expanding. So there's something it looks like they're preparing for all of us that live here right now to help us through. So we'll see. Okay, so she's showing me how they would liken it to, you know, in war times, even though there was war, they still found time to play and do things. So she's saying it's going to be another level where you're going to find more time to play, even if something looks heavy, in a new way. So you're going to find the joy, you're going to find that, and that's what's going to catapult us again in our individual lives. So we need to be expansive to know that it's okay. But don't worry, your body's not going to expand. You're just going to expand energetically.
Exactly. If every person can just remember what it's like to go on a walk carefree, or be on a beach carefree, or just the back patio, or holding hands with someone or your dog, but where you're not upset at the dog for not moving fast enough on the walk. You're in the backyard barefoot. It's a barbecue. Wherever you had fun, there's a consistent flow. There doesn't have to be any externals, and it doesn't matter what the externals are. You can hold your own vibration, your own contentedment, whatever that's called, contentedness, in the moment, and allow that to be the dominant experience no matter what's going on. And it allows you a broader wisdom and a broader base from which to act. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm going to read a passage to you that was written by angels. If anyone thinks that I wrote this, you're the best. Thank you very much. This is that time too to write a couple comments about just how fabulous Tracy is. You know, 2 emojis. Yes, she's fabulous. I agree. And another, I agree. And I agree. Put those comments in, share, like, subscribe, and so on. Okay. This is from the Listening to Angels book. I saw balls of light as I was typing in 2014. Yeah. What's up with mankind? Why angels now? Awareness for mankind is on the horizon. Call it a spiritual awakening if you wish. It's a chance for all to grow. Mankind's ready for more unconditional love and compassion for all, and more compassion by all for all is needed. Mankind is ready for change from a rat race mode. Happiness is obtained in the absence of ego. Ego's afraid to be vulnerable, to let go, and to be in the unknown. Again, there's nothing to lose and nothing to gain here. Move past seeing the negative. Compassion can be taught through one's actions. How? Slowing down would do a world of wonder for most people. Doing it consistently is where the problems and opportunities lie, so stay present. Start right now. Letting go means less thinking. Do not get lost in perceived tasks, roles, ego, etc. Being in the moment is to do compassion for all. For individuals, an egoless path would be great, but it's just not realistic. Allow ego to serve as a reminder when it pops up, a reminder for what you decide. How about a reminder to breathe? How about a reminder to enjoy each moment as it comes? Believe that all moments can be the same. Whether it's a moment at work or a moment looking at nature, all moments are the same and peaceful. Only thinking something can interfere with this. Likewise, there are not separate paths for mankind or separate worlds for individuals. One is one. Through awareness and owning the consequences of one's thoughts and actions, a person begins to see how all of life is truly interconnected and one. Faith in all can lead to a change in mankind. This is the path for all of man. This is about man bringing peace and joy to all. This is about your personal growth in your life and finding the next stage in your soul's development, as well as the continued evolution of mankind. The greatest gift is allowing all is growth and change. This is frightening for some. There's nothing to do here. Slow down the doing. Instead, breathe, smile, and relax. Appreciate all. Compassion for all is life. This is also about acceptance for all. Regard others as yourself generously and without fixation. Believe in all. It is much simpler than people think. Again, this is because this is not about thinking, but less thinking. Open yourself up to life. Speak with us. Be. Bunch of angels. What do you think of that?
It's bang on, because it's exactly everything that we've been talking about now. And you know what's interesting about that? You said 2014, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times information and messages, here's back to your teacher, that comes to us. And the reason we're not to discount it is it drops at the right time, the right place. And this is a message you channeled back then that is so more prevalent for today than ever before. Right. And that's that place of really dropping into who you are and understanding where we're going. And I think when people enter this world, I've noticed one of the things that people forget is just because you receive a message today and it may not make sense to you, that may not totally made sense to you, probably didn't a lot in 2014, but now I'm sure as the year goes on, now you can go, oh my gosh, like this is like gold for right now. So it's not uncommon that we get information from spirit that's well ahead of its time. Like I've had information that I got 7, 8 years ago that I had somebody say to me the other day, thank gosh. So on my academies, they're all video, right? They get video every day. And somebody said to me the other day, you talked about something in 2000, like 18 or whatever, 17. And I was like, nah, it's gotta be crazy. That's crazy. Because it was something channeled. And you were talking about getting to the end of 2025. She goes, and all of that happened. And now I look back and she's like, oh my gosh, I get what you're saying. So a lot of times we can get information from spirit and we discount it because we look around and go, well, what are you talking about? You might have a vision of your life. You might have a vision of things that you start to see and, oh, I'm going to discount that because, that's not showing up. No, no, no. Because as you move through, spirit's telling you and giving you a sign, an image, a thought, a symbol that if you want it, hang on to it because they're telling you it's there, it's in your field. There's maybe someone has to leave your field. Maybe you got to, like you said, go to that coffee shop and bump into that person. Maybe there's a different alignment. Maybe you're just waiting for that one person to get them moved so you can meet. So, they got something they got to clean up. But we get so used to going, well, wait a minute, I didn't see it now. No, remember all the people connected. You said it earlier. All the millions of angels out there trying to get this one over here, to get this one over here, to get you connected. It might be a job. It might be a love life. It might be something that. So hold the image, hold it because spirit's talking to you all day long. So that's what I love about what you channeled. People have to remember that was 10 years ago and it's relevant then, but it's more relevant when I look at the energy today than ever before.
We're going to wrap it up in just a second. I've got a final commentary from John, who you were really hitting it off with. Can you get another way of saying everything you just said? Because it was incredible. And here's John kicking it into gear.
Believe in you. Believe in what you're seeing. Believe in what you're feeling. Believe in what you're hearing. Believe. You got to believe. You got to know. And when you know that knowing in your gut, don't let anything pull you off that path. Don't let anything try. When you know, you know. So if anything comes, I know. Just keep saying, I know. And he's very adamant. He keeps sitting on that couch. I know. I know. Like, I don't know with him and that couch and me. I don't know what he's got going on there. But
I'm gonna put them
funny.
up one last time because I'm gonna whoosh you rainbow light 3 times. We'll connect by hand, only our highest selves, not our bill paying side. But in
Yes.
1 second, let him say what this is about. I'll put Joy up as well. You're about to get rainbow light from Texas, but it's really angels whooshing through. What's John say about this whole whooshing of rainbow light to you?
Went back to its expansion.
Aw.
Guys,
And then
it's
here's Joy,
expansion.
same deal. She's going to
It's
be part of
freedom.
this.
She
Yep.
said right away. He said expansion. She said freedom. It's
Now,
freedom.
people can do this at home, but only your highest intent as well. And none of anybody's energy who's shedding something like baggage, Samsonite luggage, stress, let it go out over the Pacific, over the Arctic, over the Atlantic to Russia, Venezuela, or outer space if you're more compassionate. The bottom line is we're connected this way. Are you feeling the buzz?
Feeling the but you know what? They also just showed me, and I have to say this. It's like it looks like an eagle times Magnify the biggest eagle you've seen times a million, literally soaring over the ocean, like the freedom. Like that's how big that I get chills that expansion is.
We're going to fly like an eagle. I'm going to do this 3 times. The first one, you can sandbag and go small at home, but remember, the more you breathe, the more you turn the volume up. So that type of shoulder heave ho, a lot of us think we're breathing, but we're not. And then there's 1 out of a 200 ratio who think that nose breathing is all they can do. So do nose breathing. You're fine. Mouth, nose, anything. It doesn't matter. Here comes the first one. And I'm going to blow through the microphone that's just right off camera. And that's going to be a Hawaiian breeze on your nose just to throw everybody off. You're going to get a lot of love. Here it comes. Feel it up your back. This is the chakra Kundalini Express thing. And Tracy, what'd you get for the small one there?
I just got a whole wave of peace.
Yay. So we can all use a piece of that, and we need more peace.
Peace.
Second time is going to be medium, but if people are going crazy at home, go ahead and just be like, nah, it's been a long year. I need a good big dose of love right now. Here it comes. I'm going to blow twice. Let Wailea Kanapali go on your nose. Here it comes. I didn't do it. Blame angels. Blame Canada.
Actually, you know what? What just came, it was like, the biggest, we were talking about the eagle and the bird, but the wings just wrapped around. It was like, it's like I don't really like that word protection. It was a safety though. It was so much bigger than you and I.
Okay, one more time, but this is go big or go home. Most people are already at home, so you just should go big.
Go big.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose. And now here it comes, but really feel the back and feel the whole you. And it's almost like getting a bucket of angel water on your back, but you're not going to get wet.
Soar. Soar, soar, soar. You can feel it, guys. You can feel the energy lifting. I can feel it lifting us up, literally like you're being catapulted out of your seat like that. You're just like soaring. Like, you see those people where they ride those things in the water and it pushes them out. It's like that, but you're going thousands of feet in the air.
Now, remember, folks, I'm available for retreats, just for 6 hours out of your retreat. Joe, keep me in mind. Okay, Tracy, wrap this up. You've done a million shows. Yeah. What do we need to remember again? I forgot.
Stay in your heart. Move through your ego. Trust, know, believe in your faith. Soar, expand. Don't be afraid. Don't hide. Don't hold yourself back. And have so much compassion for self as we move through these next few months. Because remember, you have the power in you. It's all in you to change anything.
You're incredible. Tracy L. Clark in Canada, one of the best guests this show has ever had. Super thankful that you came on. Great seeing you again. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.